Hey everyone, I'm Artosis, and I'm going to be interviewing today someone that no one's really talking about, but is over here in Korea training pretty darn hard. That is Team Gosu Gamer's very own lastshadow. What's up, man?
Not much.
You're going to have to speak up a little bit louder than that, buddy.
Not much.
Not much? Alright. So no one's really talking about you right now, but you've quietly been over here for a little bit now. How's it going?
Everything's been great. The practice is a lot better than anything that you can get on other servers. If I go back to the other servers, it's kind of easy unless I'm like against top players. So overall, you can just tell that the Korean experience is like accelerating anything you can get overseas.
So why don't you tell everyone where you're staying in Korea? Because I think a lot of people don't even know this.
It was formerly called like the MVP B Team House because it was affiliated with MVP, but I guess like the last few months or something, they've been branching off into their own stuff, and now it's just called the Pro S House. It's one of like few only amateur houses in Korea, but with a few like notable players coming from it, like Kwangsun and Dongrigu and stuff like that.
Yeah, those are some great players. How are you doing in that house right now?
Fairly well, I guess. I mean, everyone there tries to speak English, and if they can't, they'll use Google Translate or something like that. And I'm friendly with a lot of the players, so it's good.
Alright, so let's back it up for just one second because we kind of got the gist of how you're doing in Korea right now, but let's tell people about you and who you are exactly. First off, what's your name?
Nicholas de Cesare.
That's how you say it?
Yeah.
I thought it was De Caesar. Are you sure it's not De Caesar?
In Italian, it's de Cesare.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is. It really
You're such a liar.
Listen, maybe I was raised wrong. I don't know.
Alright. Quiet, Wolf Trap.
Sorry.
Alright. So, anyways, what race do you play?
I just recently switched to like a hybrid player, ZVT, ZVP, and Terran vs. Zerg.
So, what do you ladder on then?
I ladder on Zerg, and if I hit Zerg vs. Zerg, I just all in.
I see. So you're basically July Zerg.
Yeah. 11 pool, all in with like Spine Crawler Rush, just trusty 7 pool Spine Crawler Rush.
There you go. Lean in. Make sure you're talking loud. I want people to hear you instead of this annoying coffee shop music.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you are a Starcraft 1 Terran player.
Yep.
Very high level. Played a lot of great games, a lot of great players. What made you choose to switch over to Starcraft 2?
I came to Starcraft 2 in July when I moved to Maryland to stay with some Starcraft buddies. And I got messaged numerous times on Facebook by the current Gosu Gamers manager, Markoon, asking me to play StarCraft 2, but I wasn't really interested in it. I gave it a shot, very small amount of time in the beta. I kind of liked it, and then when it was released, I picked it up the first night, and then I played it for about a month and a half. I did fairly well. I won a few tournaments, and I really enjoyed the scene, but I hated the game. So I retired shortly after that. And then I came back in March of this year, late March.
What made you come back if you didn't like the game?
I missed the community.
Okay. That's interesting. What communities do you like in StarCraft 2?
GoSuGamers.net is great for foreign news and stuff like that, as well as like replays, because there's not a lot of replay sites since Team Liquid doesn't cover replays. Team Liquid obviously is like one of the greatest forum communities, probably in all of StarCraft. I mean, there's a few other like communities that I don't really visit, but I will occasionally, like Reddit or something like that. And that's pretty much it.
So, how long are you planning on staying in Korea right now for StarCraft 2?
Forever. Basically pulling like a GER.
Yeah.
Or like a rec roll or something like that. I don't plan to leave. I'm learning the language now to like make sure that my stay is as comfortable as possible. But after like living here and comparing it to America, everyone's so much more social and like outgoing and stuff. So
it's definitely a different culture, that's for sure.
It's more friendly and stuff. So I prefer it over American.
Well, that's a pretty strong statement, staying forever. You know, so many players are coming over. What do you think about that? So many foreigners do come over, but only for a few months to get better. Do you think that that's gonna, you know, your situation versus that one? What do you think about that?
I think StarCraft 2 isn't just a choice for me. It's like it's forced in a way. If that makes any sense. But StarCraft 2 is like, I'm kind of all in with it in a way. So I guess that kind of motivates me, as well as pushes me to stay here and stuff like that. Whereas other foreigners, they have like family and friends and stuff to go back to, without like any sort of turbulence in their life or anything. And I kind of don't have that. So StarCraft 2 is like really my second family.
Well, that is quite sweet of you.
Thanks.
It's my family too, man. I guess we're related, cousins or something.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about your actual play for a moment here. You know, you play Terran in one matchup, but then Zerg in the other two. So we're going to consider you, for the most part, a Zerg player for the moment.
Yeah.
First off, you switched to Zerg from Terran. Why was that? Because you were a Terran in StarCraft 1.
Yeah. Basically, when I came over to StarCraft 2, I had wanted to play Zerg, but I found the most success with Terran, and it was always asked by like friends and stuff for me to play Terran because I played it in Star 1. So I really enjoyed it sort of when I first started playing Star 2, but when I came back and now being in Korea, I didn't agree with a lot of things that Terran has to do in a lot of matchups. So I just didn't
You
like
hate
it.
the Marauder?
I hate the way that it has to deal damage, or the way that it has to constantly be doing something to the opponent. Kind of like how Protoss was in StarCraft 1. You couldn't let the opponent relax, or you kind of fell behind. And the longer the game goes, Terran gets weaker and weaker. I mean, that's my opinion. But anyways, Zerg, it's kind of like Flash's mindset in Star 1. If you can defend everything and you have the ultimate mechanics, you shouldn't lose to your opponent. And right now, I think Zergs are losing, not because they're like maybe worse mechanic-wise, but because the game's still so new. Like, new strategies and new timings and stuff like that, they're still coming out, whereas Brood War and, you know, its end days or whatever, everything was figured out. So if you could defend everything with Terran, Flash style, you generally always won. It was hard to beat Flash, and Zerg's kind of the same way. In Terran vs. Zerg, I play mechanic only, so it's the same exact concept.
Yeah. I like your answers, man. Sounds like you learned from Artosis or something.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. All right. Okay, so what matchups are your best and which matchups are your worst and which matchups are in between? Since you have three, I guess I should not put S on the end of that.
Yeah, right? No. ZBT and TBZ. I mean, TBZ is obviously above it. But ZBT is probably my second best now, with Zerg vs. Protoss being my weakest, because I kind of don't understand the matchup fully yet, because there's so many things Protoss can kind of do, and I don't have all the timings and stuff down. And on Korean Ladder, you run into Protoss like the least. At least in my opinion. You hit Zergs and Terrans a lot more. So it's kind of hard to practice, and then when you do hit a Protoss, they're like trying to go for some sort of like weird unorthodox all-in or something. So it's hard to actually practice. It's weird.
So, all right. That's a pretty good answer there. Speaking of which, how well are you doing on the Korean ladder? Like, what level are you at right now?
If I'm laddering like consistently or something, I'm hovering within the top 5 of Masters, which, you know...
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, I pair up against Grandmasters and stuff like that often, but it's actually not like being Grandmaster. So, you know, I get to play against a few Code A's sometimes. Very rarely, maybe I'll hit like a Code S or something. And then on top of that, I just play so many great amateurs that the practice is great no matter what.
So, who are some of your favorite practice partners over here?
Practice partner, it's kind of weird to say. I guess Oasis would be one of them. Galaxy for Zerg. I've played with Parting for you a few times, and then just random house members and stuff like that are practice. But no like superstar big names or anything like that.
Well, and what are your goals? I know you want to stay here for a long time, but are you looking just to, you know, eke out a living as a pro gamer? Are you looking to get into the GSL? Are you looking to start traveling more to other tournaments? What is it?
I don't care about money, and I don't care about foreign tournaments right now. As long as I'm able to comfortably get by, like financially independent-wise, I just want to excel and be the best. And I believe, I mean, obviously I still have a chance because of my age and stuff like that, but also I don't believe in like the age thing where if you hit 22, 23 or something like that, you somehow start to fall apart. I think it's
that's
all
good.
willpower, like mental. So my goal, once things start getting more serious for me, there's like been a lot of stuff going on, is to try to be the next like Jadong or Flash or something like that.
Oh, it's a lofty goal indeed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Right?
Right. Well, you have a lot of good answers in you. A lot of answers that I agree with. A lot of answers that I look up to. And so I got to ask you, time for some plug-in. Do you stream your ladder games?
I do stream, usually when I'm laddering. I don't stream customs that often, but sometimes customs are like thrown into the ladder games, so it's like weird. But I do stream out of Team Liquid or out of Gosu Gamers. They have this new thing that just like is in the works, I guess. It's like Gosu Gamers' own website specialized for streaming, play.gosugamers.net. And then of course Team Liquid, the sidebar. Usually I'll be using Gosu Gamers #2,
Okay.
or just I'll update my stream thread, when I'm streaming, or Twitter, Facebook, anything like that.
Oh, what's your Twitter then, so that people can check out when you're streaming?
Twitter.com/lastshadow9, the number. It's just as simple as that. Or if anyone wants, they can add me on Facebook or anything like that. I accept like any friend requests or whatever.
Oh, that's friendly of you.
Yeah.
Well, I suggest everyone goes over and watches his stream. I've known Last Shadow for a very long time. Very talented Terran player and now Zerg player who excels in macro, and that's my kind of game. So definitely gets the Artosis stamp of approval. And any shout-outs before we end this?
Big thanks to GosuGamers.net and all my friends that helped me practice. You, Tasteless, and stuff like that for helping me out. Oasis over there.
Thanks, Woltrap.
Galaxy, and just anyone that's been supportive of me, and also Team Liquid for letting me back into the community. I never really expressed it publicly, but I'm really grateful for that. It actually meant a lot to me.
Well, thank you very much, Nick. It's been a great interview, and best of luck to you in Korea.
Thanks.